Hello everyone and welcome to this self-love exercise. It's an exercise that will help you look around your life with or through the eyes of love, and it will help you enhance self-love in all areas of life. So I will guide you and take you through all areas of your life to see what your life would look like, what your life would feel like if it was an expression of 100% self-love. So please enjoy. Hello everyone, so this is part 2 of the self-wheel journey, and we ended off with family, and the next one is love life, so it's partnerships. And again, I would invite you to look at how self-loving are your relationships, your love life. Are you seen as you are? Are you yourself in your relationship? Can you express yourself freely? Do you receive the love that's there for you? Do you attract partners who see your bigness and beauty? Do you attract partners who really love you? So again, we look at relationships and partnerships as a reflection of the relationship we have to ourselves, of the level of self-love that we have, and it's also like in the relationship there is a immense opportunity for growth. So every time our old childhood wounds come out or are triggered by something in the relationship, how much love can you meet yourself with? How present can you be with your old patterns? It's not that if you really love yourself, there won't be old patterns or healings or wounds to take care of. I'm sure there will, but the way that we handle or meet ourselves when old patterns and fear emerge in the relationship is a big difference. So I think a lot of people are preoccupied with how their partner might change or could change, or it would be nice, or other relationships in our lives, it would be nice if they would change. And what I find really, really powerful is to pull that responsibility home and to look at with loving eyes, without judgment, how have I attracted these relationships? What is being mirrored within me? So if someone steps over our boundaries, for example, I would always communicate how it makes me feel, but I would also wonder whether I might have looked in a way or somehow invited to the boundary that's being crossed. I would always look at the learning, but I would also, and it's often something that happens when we are not really at home, when we're not present. Because I think very often if we feel that other people are really at home, really present, and there is this love within them, we won't feel like crossing their boundaries. And that goes for us as well. So, love life. There are so many aspects you could look at around love life. Is there a physical attraction, a spiritual alignment, a psychological alignment, lots of different things. And so the next one is body, your relationship to your body. So how much self-love can you infuse your relationship with your body with? So that's like it's around eating. Do you eat what your body needs, too much or too little? Do you listen to your body? Do you get the right amount of exercise? Too much or too little? Or the right kind of exercise according to where you are in your life. So sometimes when I work hard, I will do yin yoga or restorative yoga and things that will calm my nervous system instead of very hard training. At other times in life, I really enjoy hard training and strenuous yoga or other kinds of training. It's how do I think about my body? So few people, when you stand in front of the mirror naked, will think, I really love what I see. We're so used to having something that we would wish different or just want to fix, or I really love my body when I have lost 3 kilos or when I'm just a little more fit, or things like that. And a lot of people don't even look at themselves in the mirrors. They will sort of look away. So it's also that how much can you love your body as it is right now without fixing it. So that's also a thing. And what do you think about yourself when you look at yourself in the mirror? What do you think about your body? Also, what are your thoughts about your body, your strength, your well-being, your health? Do you think of yourself as someone who's healthy and strong, or not so much? So there's also a lot of different thought systems around our relationships to our body, and it's also our sexuality. Are you in contact with your sexuality? Also during the day, do you feel sexy? That's also part of being in contact with your body. And also, how grounded are you in your body? How connected are you to your body? How much do you actually live in it? How much do you listen to it? How much do you feel it? How much do you love it, really? It's also restoration is also part of it. Do you sleep enough? Do you sometimes just lie on the floor and do nothing because your body invites you to? Do you dress in a way that feels good for you, or do you just put something on because it doesn't matter? I think that's quite important too. Yeah. So lots of areas around the body. And again, you can rate yourself and maybe think about if there's something that could be more self-loving for you. What might that be, and what would be a first step? And yeah, the next one, number 7, is your home. And it might sound a little funny to have your home in a self-love wheel, but at least in the Nordic countries, we spend a lot of time in our homes. And I find that decorating my home and having the colors and textures and things that I bring home from travels and things like that in my home is an expression of love for myself. Also, I have my small altars. I have a lot of places for incense and candles with different kinds of smell. I would like to have a home that expresses love for who I am, so that my home becomes like a sacred temple that I live in, and that expresses comfort, and where I can be myself, where my senses can rest, where I am surrounded by beauty, where I can ground and really feel at home. So I also actually think that the way we live can be an expression of love. It doesn't, or we could just say it doesn't matter what I put myself into, but I think it's very self-loving to actually make it matter. And I know it's all different for all of us, but yeah, I do find it very self-loving. We have talks, some young people in our home playing around. You can probably hear that outside. All right, so the next one is communication, and that's a big one. And I find that a lot of people really don't know how to communicate in a self-loving way, because it's being in integrity. Can I express who I am? Can I express my emotions and needs? Can I, in a balanced, uh, authentic way? Can I say yes and no? Can I express my boundaries before I get too angry or too indirect or anything like that? Can I express what's important for me? Can I really allow myself to be who I am in my communication with other people? So it's also the words that we speak, but it's also the way that we communicate through our body language and things like that. And I do workshops just on this, and a lot of people will ask me, could you please give me an example of how to, for example, set a boundary in a loving, authentic, balanced way, because they will actually not have the wording. They wouldn't know what to say really, how to say it, how to express it. And I think most of us are so used to, or have learned as small children, that you cannot just express who you are. You cannot just express your needs and feelings. It's selfish and it's wrong. And so we just haven't really learned the language of expressing ourselves, of being in integrity, of expressing our own truthfulness. And so it's, for many people, it's a language that we have to exercise and to learn and cultivate. And therefore many of us will express our feelings often too late. So we get too angry, or we get too indirect or manipulative. So very seldom that we meet people who will just express in a loving, balanced, authentic way how they feel and who they are, in the trust that I am lovable also when I speak my truth, and that it will be heard, and that it will be met by other people. I think that's a big one. Can I trust that? And can I trust myself to communicate in the world? I think a lot of people have let themselves down through life and don't really trust themselves. So that's a big one as well. And with some people, it's going to be easier to communicate in an authentic way, and with other people, more difficult. But we cannot place the responsibility and the power for our self-love and the self-love that we show ourselves when we communicate in a self-loving way. We cannot place that responsibility and empowerment outside of us. Okay, so the last one, number 9, I'll just show it to you again. I will write it as well in English. Is dreams and activities. So I also really find it an expression of self-love to take your dreams and the things that you dream of doing seriously. So, sometimes you will dream of singing in a choir, or dancing tango, or taking a class at university, or will dream at traveling through Australia in a camper, things like that. And we will live lives that I call when lives. When the children get older, when I have more money, when I have more time, when I feel more secure, things like that. And by doing that, living when lives, we communicate to ourselves that we are not important, that our dreams are not really that important, that it can wait. And I find that the way we live today will color the way that we live tomorrow. So often people will say, well, when I get older, we'll have more money, but then we'll be completely out of training, doing what we love, and listening to our dreams and finding ways to make our dreams come possible. So yeah, I think that's also a very beautiful way to show ourselves and our lives love, really, to show appreciation for the lives that we are so um, blessed to be living. So that was as short as I could just do it, introduction. Actually, you could work on each of these areas for days, and you can go work on one area and leave it for a while and work on another area, and you will find that working on one area will spread out to the other areas. So if you work on, for example, the relationship to yourself, you will find that the need to communicate in an authentic, self-loving way will grow within. The need to take care of your body will grow within. So everything, of course, comes from knowing how loved and yeah, how loved we are, and I think it's very helpful to be awake to whether we live lives that are a reflection of that love or not, really, and to meet all the times that we don't do that with love and compassion, and find small ways that we can show ourselves how loved and beautiful and worthy we are. So that was just my small self self love wheel. I I hope it might be useful for some of you. Thank you for listening.